What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. The co-creator of Star Wars The Clone Wars along with George Lucas, Dave Filoni, has officially opened up about the ending of Clone Wars Season 7 and the series finale, up until now that is. Before we get into his comments, I do want to say that a lot of people in the comments have been asking if this is really the end of the Clone Wars, but according to Lucasfilm and managers and producers over at Lucasfilm, this may not be, and they may have various unfinished episodes in the pipeline that they will continue to release if Season 7 is successful, which is pretty clear that it is, so hopefully there will be more Clone Wars down the line. This is still the finale, however, as this is the last episode chronologically, and it's probably the only episode of the Clone Wars that we will follow that goes into Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith. The other episodes, if they're ever completed, will explore what happened prior to this, with various comic books such as The Son of Dathomir and perhaps the novel Dark Disciple, books that fill in the gaps of what Darth Maul was up to, as well as Asajj Ventress's and Quinlan Voss's story, and more involving Dooku, main characters of the Clone Wars that were noticeably absent from this final season. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and break down and discuss exactly how Dave Filoni explained the ending to Clone Wars Season 7 and the ending of the series. In this interview, the first question Dave Filoni asked is how he was going to handle the Clone Wars coinciding with Revenge of the Sith, and how that challenged him in Season 7. When I went to do the finale, and I always wanted to be right alongside Revenge of the Sith, I had to go back and remind myself of all these moments and make sure that we're not violating anything in that film, that we're not changing the outcome of anything, that things are happening in the right sequential order. People don't know, but some of the original versions that we batted around with the story didn't always have it coinciding with Revenge of the Sith. That's just story evolution. There are many things that happen and change along the way. So according to Dave Filoni here, one of the original series finales did not coincide with the events of Revenge of the Sith. As we know, in the whole Siege of Mandalore arc, it's very much intertwined with the events of Revenge of the Sith, with Obi-Wan telling Ahsoka of Dooku's death, to Anakin investigating the Chancellor, to even dialogue from Hayden Christensen from Revenge of the Sith, right before Anakin's betrayal and the death of Windu. It's very much a companion piece to Revenge of the Sith, even though it wasn't originally. Dave Filoni later went on and discussed the duel between Maul and Ahsoka on Mandalore, as well as having Ray Park come back and do motion capture for Maul. I wanted to find a way to make the last one more special than it had been. Just watching Ray Park perform, there's a speed there, and intuitiveness that is hard to replicate. So we all went down to the mocap stage at Lucasfilm, and Ray came in, and Lauren came in and delivered a fantastic performance. Ray was so fast at certain spins, and stuff that it would break the tracking. It couldn't track him accurately. The lightsaber would fly out of his hand virtually because it couldn't keep up with him. It was a really fun time. When talking about the appearance of Darth Vader at the end of the series finale, this is what Dave Filoni said. This was an idea that I've had for a very long time. As I went over different ways to end the show, that was always one of the options I had. I wanted to draw a full arc for him where if you've never seen Star Wars, you hopefully will be able to understand that the young man that Ahsoka is very good friends with, that's like a brother to her in the beginning, that the villain Maul says, hey, he's going to turn out to be this bad guy. In the end, you see that, well, that was actually, unfortunately, true, and Maul was telling the truth. Going on, Dave Filoni talked a little bit more about Ahsoka's lightsabers, and their importance to her. I know why I did that and what it means, but I don't like to explain too much. I love for the viewers to watch stuff and come up with their own theories, and they frankly come up with better things than I originally intended. But it's a way to have his character expressed without violating anything that happened in the films. It doesn't change anything for Vader, but it helps bridge into work we did in Rebels, and you can see that entire arc there. So he's talking about when Vader picks up the lightsaber from the snow, Ahsoka's lightsaber, and it's clear that he's contemplating his former Padawan, and her ultimate fate. As we full well know in Rebels, Darth Vader could never be turned back to the light side of the Force by Ahsoka Tano. Their relationship is very strained and tragic, and Dave Filoni didn't want to have to exactly come out and say what Darth Vader was thinking, at the same time leading directly into the story of Rebels and the conclusion of the Ahsoka Vader story. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, and Dave Filoni's explanation for the final scene in Star Wars The Clone Wars, involving Vader and Ahsoka's lightsaber? As always, if you want to stay up to date with everything Star Wars related, including more news, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know exactly when I post videos, turn notifications on. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.